think we should be live in a couple seconds. Maybe yes, maybe no. Are we? Okay, is there any way we can check the volume and see if it's working properly? No problem. Okay, so it's starting for me too. I'm just gonna listen for a second. Can you say something? Test. Test. Okay, I assume we can hear both of us. No problem. Okay, so it's starting for me too. Okay, cool. Perfect. Then I guess we are officially live for yet another live, our third one. No? Well, that's problematic then. Hold on. Can you say something again? Try saying something again. Hold on. Can you say something again? Yeah, okay. Let me just check here. Mm-hmm. Try saying something again. Yeah. Control audio. Okay. Now can you hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me? Testing.
I can hear you now. Can you try now? Because it might work now.
Yeah, we'll talk a bit now. Blah 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 blah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Blah
Try it one
blah
more
blah
time.
blah 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 blah.
Now can you hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me? Testing. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now we're officially live. Sorry that it takes so long to figure that out. We're still working out a lot of the kinks, I guess. But
Yep. Still early on.
3 week break from Formula One, we're back with another qualifying session that is too early for me. I think it was even
Ash.
earlier for you, to be honest, but it was quite early for
It
me too.
was it's like 6 to 7 or something for me, and I fell asleep on the outlaps of Q3. So yeah, it was going so well up until Q3, and then I just lost it.
Yeah, that's the problem, I guess, with this very early. I mean, we're typically lucky, both of us being located in Europe at the moment. We can't complain too much. Most of the time, I think we have quite a good schedule,
Mhm.
quite a good time frame.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, we can't exactly complain, but at the same time, I'm gonna complain about
oh,
being
of
up so
course,
early.
of course.
Because with work and everything, having to get up so early when don't have to be in work for another hour. So great.
So, what did you think of first up the build up for the weekend this time? Did you feel? I thought there was a lot less hype for Las Vegas than last year. I mean, I know last year was the first time that they ever held the race.
Yeah, I felt that the hype factor was gone from the race this year. But it's been here for a year now, so I guess people are just kind of, oh yeah, it's Vegas, whatever.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. But they've kind
that's
of
good.
they,
Wants to go out.
uh, they haven't really pushed it as much this year, which I'm okay about. And um, I haven't seen much from like the race promos, like silly stuff yet. So
Yeah, and we
be
weren't
interesting to
seeing
see.
those crazy prices either, all over Twitter, all over
Yeah,
X, about how people were paying thousands of dollars just to have a view for the race.
yeah. I remember seeing that. I saw a picture there on Twitter this morning of uh, of the one of the stands. Where was it? I can't remember where it was now, but basically one of the stands after one of the stands after one of the practice sessions. I'd say there was, well, not after, before the end of one of the practice sessions was practically empty. There was nothing going on there, so that is a bit of a shame. But
It's underwhelming as
it's
well
one of
because it's such a late.
yeah,
It's late for them too. I don't know exactly what Las Vegas is compared to me, but I know that the
yeah,
sessions are pretty late for them. And it's cold. You can see them all wearing their jackets as well throughout
yeah,
the session. So it's not.
yeah. It's like because like Vegas, because it's in the desert, gets really really cold at night. So it's I don't get what their logic was with putting it so late in the year. Um, guess that they were trying to go for something close to Thanksgiving or something, and that's why it's so late.
Or maybe sort
But
of like showdown towards the end of the year when things matter. And Las Vegas is important, and
yeah, I guess so. But even at that, it's just I don't see the point of it. It doesn't really had that much showdown factor. Like we're racing on a glorified pig, so I don't know.
I like the upside down pig. But I must say that in the games, it's quite fun to drive on Las Vegas
Hmm.
in the F1 games,
Yeah, it is. It is a fun track to drive, but
even if it does look very stupid from
yeah,
like you said, the pig.
no, it's like in fairness, now last year it did offer a good race, and I think this year might offer a good race as well, just because of the fact that it's so cold and tire temps are such a big thing when in Formula One. Um, that's where I think that Mercedes and maybe Ferrari might thrive. So they're gonna be they're gonna be strong, I think, tomorrow.
I hope Charles absolutely sends it again like last year. That was phenomenal at the end. Oof.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Hamilton does a P10 to P1 or something because like
That's
he
such a
he went up
shame.
14 places last year, so wouldn't surprise me if he did it again this year.
Hey, you heard it here first. What did you
Just saying.
so we can go down through each of the of the sessions themselves. What did you think of the Q1? Any shocks there for you?
Um, no,
We don't even call
well,
it a shock anymore when Perez is out, right? It's just kind
no,
of
no.
another day at the office
Paris
for him.
isn't even a shock. Yeah.
Fair, yeah, that that was
Um,
my opinion
I,
as well.
after not seeing any of the practice sessions, I when I saw no time for Stroll, I thought they left him in Brazil. Being totally honest with you.
I mean, he would have deserved it after that move that he pulled in Brazil. High IQ move.
Oh, that was the rookiest of rookie errors when the guy's been in the sport for what, nearly 10 years.
It's even worse than a rookie error. I think that's like a lack of any common sense whatsoever,
Yeah.
to be honest. But another
Any
thing that go ahead.
any shocks for you on that part?
Not a shock, but worth noting. I wrote down the fact that Colapinto beat Albon to go into Q2. Obviously, that
Mm-hmm.
was cancelled out by the huge crash
When
that
you,
he ended up having.
yeah,
But from a
yeah,
performance standpoint, it's pretty impressive. I still think that it's pretty impressive that he's managing to do this. And to me, it
yeah.
speaks how easy Albon has had it over the past couple of years.
Oh, I completely agree. I think that the last few years, Albon has been stuck with who's Albon been with? He's been with Latifi
Go
and
Tiffy.
Sargent. Gotifi, and Sargent. And as memeable and likable as they weren't great drivers. Being totally honest with you,
I mean, we can
like
all we
I
can all
respect
relate
them
into
for
yeah.
I respect them for being up there, but at the level that they were at, sometimes you would think that they're maybe just above our driving level. That kind of way is what how they've been kind of driving those 2 years. But Albon's been kind of getting lucky with that factor that they've been terrible and the car has actually been improving a lot. But I think now he's actually getting found out that okay, maybe the car was actually good all along, and that because like Colapinto seems to be kind of, in my opinion, outperforming Albon since he's come in.
I think so too. I mean, I know it's hard to officially say that, but I do think that again, a rookie that jumps into the car and he's consistently getting results, got some points. I mean, he hasn't been in the points every time. He's had a couple crashes, but
Yeah,
he's good. He's good. I don't know. He's just good at
he's
what
a
he does.
he's a really good driver. And like the funniest thing was that he wasn't on the cards for an F1 seat at all uh, before they dropped Sargent, and he was just kind of thrown in as a kind of a last resort type thing. And now he's talking to Red Bull about getting a seat with them. It's kind of mental, actually.
Imagine how bad every driver at Red Bull must feel if Colapinto does end up in that seat. Their whole developmental
Wow.
program loses any sort of credibility. Okay, it has its
Yeah,
credibility because you get into the sport, but the idea, of course, is to get up to that main Red Bull seat, right?
I can just imagine that Lawson reaction picture coming back again.
Yes, yes. Who are they going to pan to this time in the garage once they announce that Colapinto's got the seat?
Oh, that would be. I can just imagine that. That's going to be hilarious.
As for
But
Q2, were there
yeah,
any sort of
any shocks in Q2?
lost and out qualified by
I,
Sonoda? But that's not really a shock. That's just something that's notable every time I keep an eye on those two to see who's
yeah,
doing better.
yeah, yeah. I I don't actually rate Lawson too highly. That's a controversial take, but
Hmm,
I just
okay.
don't. I don't see the hype around him. Being totally honest with you,
From a driving standpoint or a personality
from a
standpoint?
driving standard, like personality, I'm indifferent to him. I don't really have any issues with him. Uh, but driving standpoint, like he's done all the junior series all the way up, and he's done the Super Formula and that, and he's gonna like Super Formula is there's it's a level up from F2, but it's not yet Formula One, and Colapinto is already outperforming him,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's just
and I
from
know he
from
touched it.
from from what we've seen in the last few races, I'm pretty sure that the RB is a better car than the Williams, but Colapinto is still just doing much more things with his Williams.
Do you think there's any situation where, okay, let's say Red Bull decides to put either Lawson or Sonoda in the main Red Bull car, and then Colapinto moves over to the RB car?
That's a possibility.
Because I still
I,
think it'd be
I
crazy to
wouldn't
put
be
him
surprised if it happened.
directly into the main Red Bull seat. I mean, I think that'd go against any hierarchy that they may have over at that team.
Yeah, yeah. But you do also have the thing that Checo is saying that he might be staying next year.
Wow. I, depends how
We
fat those
believe in that.
wallets are.
Well,
But that's the
like
thing. See, if you
they were
get
looking.
Colapinto, who's also a South American driver, okay, Mexico, whatever, it's not South America, but still has that backing, and he's also performing, because that's one of the biggest things that
Yeah,
Paris brings is the sponsors. But a lot of these are based on the region that he comes from and the appeal he has towards that region.
Well, like the reason that Colapinto got the seat is because of his sponsors paying Williams what 5 million or something to get him
Yeah,
in
I
the
think it
seat.
was like 500,000 per race or something like that, and there were 9 races
Yeah,
left, or was
so
close to that.
they've got a big amount, and like his sponsors have a decent chunk, I'd say, that would be able to fund any losses that they'd have from getting rid of Perez. So he would possibly be the best, I suppose, the best alternative to Perez in regards to a marketing point of view for
Yeah,
them.
I think so too because he's already loved. I mean, he's a fan with everybody essentially. I know he's been in the media
Hmm.
the last couple of days. I wasn't really keeping up with it to be honest. I don't know if it's good or bad, but he just seems like a generally good
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. I've been busy with other things during the week, so I haven't seen much of the media. But I've been kind of looking to see if anything interesting will happen. Um, but yeah, no, everyone seems to love him.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on, I'm just gonna send out another
Another tweet.
post. Yeah, letting people know that we're doing live right now. Yeah, I think he's a good guy. I'd like to see him. Joe, when you also got into Q2, that was another thing that's not really like shocking. It didn't lead to much,
Yeah,
but it's
it's a
worth the
shock.
story of yeah. It's congratulations to
It's
him.
the first. It's the first time I've seen his Sauber outside of the outside of Q1. So
He did get a toe from
he's
Botas, I think, though. That's what. Which
that's
fair
fair
play. I
enough.
mean, it doesn't really matter. Live.
And then can I point out that Crafty said Magnussen lost out in his time because of the yellow flags when Magnussen had already finished his lap and had a checkered flag.
Yeah, I don't. I
I,
don't think
I didn't
it
get
might
that
have
one.
been. It might have been Lawson who lost out, but he was still.
Yeah,
I don't know. Let's see this. What is GP Formula One?
Lawson was P15, Magnussen was P12.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I think Tsunoda might have jumped up because at one point Magnussen was at risk. I thought he flipped Tsunoda and then
yeah,
Tsunoda maybe, if I recall
yeah.
correctly.
Sonoda flew up to P7, so
But at that point, I was
or
more
he
focused
finished
on the
P7.
damage because I didn't understand how hard he could have hit that wall too. Because the car got pretty destroyed there
Yeah,
for Colapinto,
yeah.
and if
And
you
the
saw the
medical car was
replay,
sent as well. So
yeah,
yeah, the medical car got sent as well, so it was at least 25 Gs.
yeah, and it didn't. When you look at the replay, it didn't seem like he was going that fast when he hit the wall. I mean, it was coming out of the turn. He was just getting up to
Yeah.
speed, but that concrete wall did a number on the car.
Oh, it did. That concrete wall is very dangerous. That's that's the
You heard it
problem with
here
street.
first. Concrete walls are dangerous.
Yeah. It's it's like my mother always told me growing up. Don't go running into brick walls.
Yeah, thanks.
Probably right. I didn't listen though. Ended up with brain damage. That's a clip for you.
Yeah, so it was good to see that he came out of the car without any issues. Though that's definitely something we're happy to see
Yeah.
always, of course.
Yeah, he's young. He's able to take the hits. Um, but yeah, no, I do think that the concrete walls as barriers, it's cheaper, but at the same time, it's more dangerous. Like remember 2021 when Max had that blowout in Azerbaijan and he went straight into a brick wall.
Yeah,
That was extremely dangerous because you'd a brick wall either side, and it was only lucky that he spun and hit the at the right side of the track. Because if he'd spun and went into like spun and went at the speed he was going into the pit wall, which is another concrete wall, he would have basically wrapped the car around the pit wall.
yeah.
And
Oh, we have a viewer. Hello, King Julian.
oh,
Welcome to the live.
hello there. I wonder
He,
has he any thoughts on what happened in qualifying?
yes. Give us some of your thoughts. Were you surprised by anything? we're about to get into Q3, and that's where some things. Mercedes looked positive the whole weekend, right? I mean, they looked good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sabotage or just mistakes?
Uh, it's not sabotage, but I just don't know what's going on at this point. Personally, I don't. It's partly a fact of like for some reason the tire temps are really low when they come out of the garage, and it's partly that it's just he's not there with Mercedes anymore. He's completely checked out. He's in his mind. He's already at Ferrari, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd rather be at Ferrari too, to be honest. But yeah, what you were saying, couldn't study, so I didn't study. Now I'm chill. Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll make it happen sometime. We have 2 days left. We're doing another live tomorrow, so if you feel like
Yep.
neglecting your studying responsibilities tomorrow as well, you're welcome back on
No,
at any
no,
point.
not if you feel like it. You have to neglect your studies. You
Yes,
have to come and watch us react to the race tomorrow,
can't
which will
legally
be
say that,
interesting
but I
because
agree.
all we can legally say it. Fuck studies. There's lots of people that were successful without going to college or school or whatever. So don't worry about
So you heard it here first. This is where you'll be tomorrow morning. ICU exam can wait
it.
until afterwards.
You'll learn a lot more. I'll come up with some fun facts. Don't you worry.
Will for
And
sure.
it'll be
There we go.
interesting. It'll be interesting with the lack of sleep. So I'll be a bit
Yeah,
delirious
you'll
at
be
that point. I
dialed
think.
in. If you're gonna be sleeping for what 72 hours or what is it? No, no, not 72 hours, but 48, close to 48.
Yeah,
Just staying up all night to watch the race. No.
yeah. That'll be fun. I'll probably sleep for a couple of hours, get a little nap in, but I'll probably be up the whole night. So cheers to that.
Cheers. And Julian, if you want to actually lock in for the race, you have to go over to BoxBox and make some predictions because I know
Mm-hmm.
you're into crypto as well. So I actually can tell you this. If you head over to boxbox.wtf on Phantom Wallet, you can make your predictions because you get 128 free tickets anytime you sign up, and you can multiply that. We'll also put some chill music. Thank you for that. You can multiply that and make more BoxBox tokens, which then you can sell for Solana and again fund our degenerate behavior of meme coins. Or you can reinvest that into your account and get more tickets and win some pretty awesome prizes, which I did mention in a couple of my videos. The top prize being, of course, 2 VIP tickets to the Grand Prix in Budapest next year, which frankly I hope you don't win because I'm trying to win that one as well. So I do hope that your performance isn't that great if you make predictions. But if you think you can beat me, then I'll pouch you onto my team next season when the group leaderboards open up. So head over to BoxBox and try your best. Good luck. Just don't be too great because I want to win.
I also want to win, so we all can't win.
We all can't win,
So
but at one point we will have a group, and if you're performing well, you can be part of our group. So then our group can win some pretty awesome prizes. It's literally called boxbox.wtf. That is why it stands there right at the bottom of the screen. Um, yeah, it's pretty simple to do. I have some videos on that as well on the channel. You can check those out if you don't know how. That's something I want to get out there. Yes, you are tempted
yep,
and you should be tempted because it's some pretty awesome prizes and opportunities. But
Julian's
yes,
just there. He's just there with the meme. It's like you son of a bitch. I'm in.
yeah, man. He's one of my main people I can talk to about meme coins. Like our group, we're ready to explode financially once some of the things we're working on comes into fruition. But until then, we stay
Reason.
neglecting our responsibilities of studying for exams on Monday. It is what
That's
it is.
smart.
If you want
That's
another
smart.
reason not to study, check this out. Take a bit of your time up.
Yep. Procrastinate.
Yes. So Hamilton is gone. He's out. I honestly thought he would have a solid weekend after seeing how they're
He
doing.
it was going so well. Like he topped P1 and P2, dropped back in P3, topped Q2,
Up there,
and
anyways. Up there.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he topped Q2, and his Q2 lap was good enough for P3 on the grid in Q3. So the question is, what happened? I'm seeing on Twitter that it was basically a snap, and the rear end just stepped out at one point.
The rear end.
Uh,
Oh, so
so
what else does that mean, George?
I see here he in his post qualifying interview. Just didn't work when it mattered, but I tried. Didn't come off. Should have been on pole, but at least I got pace, which is a good showing over the weekend. That's a positive statement. I think the race is kind of done. Obviously, the win is out of the question. Great job from George, and yeah,
I could just feel the sadness in his voice, even by you reading that. I'm sure it can't be
yeah,
not the way he wants to go out from this. I'm sure,
yeah. Like this really feels like it was the last time for him to get a win with Mercedes.
especially since they had the pace and the temps, like you said, that were going to
Mhm.
play a huge factor, and that's especially when their car shines. It's upsetting to see.
Yeah,
Um, Another huge shock
like
that we haven't mentioned yet. Sorry. This is a
mhm.
big one because I was just looking. Pierre Gasly? What? Where did he
What
come
the
from?
hell is he doing there?
Yeah,
What happened there?
he split the Ferraris to get up to
Huh?
P3.
Huh?
Yeah. Out of nowhere.
What?
I don't even know where Ocon didn't even make it into Q3, and we have Pierre Gasly basically starting P3.
That is mental.
You know,
It's it's genuinely that it really feel like with the people that are all around him, it really feels like that meme where the military are all like kind of behind a wall, and then you've got that one clown just standing out like a sore thumb.
yeah, exactly. He has no
That
business
is
being there, but
just why not? See how he gets on tomorrow. I
yeah.
honestly haven't a clue what Alpine's pace is like, but I
I
guess
didn't
we'll
think they
see.
were so quick either. Like I wasn't. They weren't topping the timing tables in either of the qualifying sessions. Just kind of came out of nowhere. He might have just had some great track position at the end. Maybe tire temps were okay for
Mm-hmm.
him because he did complete
Guess
his
so.
lap pretty late. I know Leclerc. I think he was the first one to set his final time, or one of the first ones, because he got provisional
Mm.
pole, and then Carlos came right after and got provisional pole, and then they were
Yeah,
split by Gasly. So they
that's
came out of nowhere.
crazy.
And I guess Russell was the very last one because he.
Yeah, Russell was last across the line, so I'm confused how he managed to get the temperature into the tires to actually get it into the working window. Because like, if Hamilton doesn't have the temps to get like even when he has an outlap, I just amazing.
The
Uh,
sphere.
I'm not I'm I'm not a big fan of George since he's become a PR merchant, but he has done really well now tonight or this morning
He
or
did. I didn't watch
last.
the interviews, but I'm hoping he thanked everybody back at the factory for the car, because if it's not a genuine response if you're not thanking everybody back at the factory.
Yeah, you have to thank everyone from the factory. Got to
That's
do the old
straight
Lewis
from the
Hamilton job
Hamilton
on it.
playbook. Yep.
Yeah,
Somebody, they probably told him
exactly.
somebody has to carry it on once he's gone. I mean, we're not going to just drop the factory. We can't forget about the factory.
Yeah,
I'm just
or the
scrolling through
factory just
Twitter.
dropped him.
I'm just scrolling through Twitter. I see another couple great images here. It's like, do you ever look at stuff and wonder how it got there? It's like random cars and trees, a horse between like the grades, and then it's Pierre Gasly in P3.
Oh, I saw that one.
Oh man.
Yeah,
But it's cool that I guess Alpine
I
has a
love.
lot of investors from celebrities now too, right? They have that whole group that's
Yeah,
investing
they
in
do.
them. So that's pretty cool that
But
they're doing this at a
I
home
find that
race.
hilarious. I find that hilarious that Alpine themselves posted that.
Yeah.
They're just roasting themselves at this point.
Yeah. It's like, was this supposed to be a burner account, or are they just
Yeah,
It's
could have
great
been.
though. It's great though.
Yeah, we'll take it. It'll add a bit of jeopardy to the race tomorrow, I think.
It will. How long do you think till he'll be out of the top five? Do you think over or under 4 laps?
Under 4 laps.
I
Being
think
totally
yeah,
honest, with you. He's got not got the pace.
yeah, and especially with such a long straight, I'm sure they'll make quick work of him.
As soon as DRS comes in after 1 lap, they're screwed.
And if you had to make a prediction right now for tomorrow, so who do you think is going to end up winning it? Do you think it will be George Russell, or
No,
no?
George has great qualifying pace, but absolutely eats through his tires, and like he'll sprint away at the start, then his tires will start to fall off, and if Mercedes just keep pitting him, maybe, but I don't think he's got the pace to keep ahead of the Ferraris.
So you're thinking it's going to be a
I,
Ferrari victory?
I'm thinking a Ferrari win
Oh,
and
I'm trying to
Lando and
hide my
Max.
smile.
Hmm?
I'm trying to hide my smile when I hear that, but I can't. I'm trying to not be biased, although I'm very biased, and I also wear the biased shirt, so it's.
Yeah, I'm not saying which Ferrari will win it,
I
but
am Charles Leclerc victory,
I
Las
do.
Vegas 2024. You heard it here. So go on.
That's what you've been saying that since Brazil. So fair play on that one. But I can't tell you which one will win it. It'll depend on how Gasly's situation plays out, but it will definitely be between Sainz and Leclerc to win the race tomorrow.
I don't want to give
Because
myself too
Madsen,
much credit because, in all honesty, I do declare Leclerc's going to win the race before every single race, so it's not really fair to be like, "Oh, I called it since Brazil," because I've been calling it since
I
Bahrain,
mean,
technically.
if you think about it, I'm in a worse position. I've been saying Hamilton will win every race up until a few races ago, when he's been starting at the back of P10.
But in all fairness, I mean, he has won 2 races this year. Although
Yeah.
I do think the Spa one shouldn't have really been his, but it counts as a win, right? So it's okay.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I think it's that one. It's a fair one in the sense of that if the roles were reversed, the split strategy wouldn't have been accepted
yeah.
because it's happened before where there has been a case where Russell was ahead and they were looking to split the strategies, and they refused to do it for Lewis.
Hmm. And
It was I can't remember which race it was, but I do remember it happening. It was before Spa, and George actually referenced it in a interview before Spa that if they had split the strategies, he would have been annoyed about it. And
hmm.
then they split strategies in Spa because he went out on a limb to say why not we do this.
Was it in Canada
So
maybe? Or I don't know, that was a hectic one with a lot of rain, but I know Hamilton wasn't happy there with the tire strategy that he had.
could have been. I'm not sure.
Anyways, yeah, it's been hard to watch that Mercedes team operate this year. And we gotten so
It's
accustomed
been
to them
very
being so dominant and so like locked in from a management standpoint as
yeah
well that you
yeah
barely hear anything about Toto anymore. And you used to hear every time there'd be like Toto, he was running the complete show, and now he just isn't. He just
yeah.
I don't know.
So I I am gonna go out and say it here now.
Yeah,
Max and Lando are gonna take each other out.
they take each other out
Yep.
right at the start, first lap, or some at some point throughout the race.
Not right at the start, but they will take each other out at some point.
Who's starting ahead? Is it Norris ahead of? No, Max is ahead
Max is
of
ahead of
Norris.
Norris.
Yeah, they'll take each other out, I think.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, if you look at the standings right now, Norris is on 331 points.
Let me pull them up.
Leclerc Leclerc is on 307 points. If Leclerc wins the race, he goes ahead of Norris if
Well,
Norris
yeah.
doesn't finish.
I never hope
That
for
would
a driver to not finish, but
it would be kind of interesting. I won't lie. It'd be really funny to see how the British media would react. That is all I'll say.
If Norris and
Uh,
Verstappen take each other out,
yeah,
I
because the whole thing for the last however many weeks, they're even still playing on it now that there's a title challenge.
give me a
The
break.
championship's over. The championship is well over. Lando has no chance of winning it. Being totally honest, like he's how many points behind Max now? He's
What,
what,
62 points behind,
60,
I think.
yeah, 62 points behind Max. He like if Max all Max has to do is finish ahead of him this race, and he's won the championship pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, no, that's
So
honestly it.
I just don't.
That might be
I
the only way in which they might not collide is if Max genuinely doesn't care about where he finishes. He just is like, okay, you know what, go for it, go ahead. I'll just get one. I mean, then he still wouldn't win technically if Norris
yeah.
finishes ahead of him.
Well, he'll win.
He
He'll
would
win
win
in
next
Qatar.
race. Yeah,
Yeah, but
but that's not in
no.
his blood. I think they'll. I hope they battle it out, and I hope it's like
Yeah,
if they are battling it out, even if they don't make contact, I hope it's that controversial line where it might be Max's fault, but it's not because if it's or even better if it's Norris's fault, then I want to see how the media reacts because that's when it's like like just tough racing. They're just
hmm
fighting there. It's okay. Max has done the same
it's
thing to
not
him.
illegal. Yeah, it's not. It's not. There's nothing bad about it. It's just
Mm.
tired racing.
That's it's like in the
Ma-
rule book.
yeah, Max takes racing line. It's illegal. He's pushing him off the track. Blah blah blah.
He'd leave no space.
yeah,
It's like, okay.
but
Yeah,
no. If both of them don't finish, Max has won the championship.
the same situation like in Abu Dhabi 2021. Max could have just tapped Lewis at the start, and then it is what it
Yep.
is. Happy it didn't
Yeah.
happen, of course, but I wonder how
Well,
much time they spend in this like thinking about these potential strategies. Like, you know what? If I just take both of us out, then I win. Oh, that's not the way you want to win,
well,
but
it was stated that if Max did do that, that like there was the thing going into that race that if they took each other out, that there would be repercussions because of it when it comes to the championship.
mm,
Because like they knew that Max only had to take Lewis out to win the championship, so they had to put something in place so that he wouldn't do that.
I would have just gotten like Perez to do it. They take one for the team, or get the Red Bull, the RBs to do it. The V carbs
yeah,
back then, or whatever they were. Alpha Tauri. I didn't even know what it was. That was Alpha Tauri, right? I think.
yeah,
Yeah, no, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. I hope we get some fighting. And we got a lot of overtakes last year, so I do think it'll be quite an interesting race. It's unfortunate that
yeah.
it's
I
so
I
early
agree.
because I don't get the hype up towards the race. Like I just have to wake up out of bed and say, "Oh, gotta start watching the race now," with the
Yeah,
alarm. But
there's no kind of build up.
I think it is what it is. So let me just check once again what we have. So we have Russell, Sainz, and Gasly. I'm thinking if I want to make any more predictions beforehand. I mean, I did put 100 tickets on Russell. I don't have any tickets on Gasly, but I don't think Gasly's going to win. I mean, that would be a huge shock, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to waste any of my tickets predicting Gasly to win.
Yeah, no,
I think I'm fair. I think
it's
I'm okay.
yeah. I don't think Gasly's going to win it. I think Gasly will drop down the pecking order very quickly, and it'll end up being a battle between him and Yuki for a bit.
I'm thinking maybe I'll put like 10 tickets each on Leclerc and Sainz more because I do think, like you said, the Ferraris are going to win. And I don't want to go out and say
Yeah,
which one, although in my heart it's Leclerc. But like cerebrally speaking, logically speaking, I don't think. But I can certainly say that
yeah.
Leclerc's going to overtake Sainz for the win. And Ferrari, although they should have done this a while back, they're not going to do any team orders, which
No,
which is fair at this
definitely
point.
not.
It doesn't matter for
Yeah,
anything.
there's nothing. They have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Like as long as they both finish, then it'll be fine. Like because let's just look here. Russell is what 52 points behind Signs, so he'd have to win both races with or both of the last races. Oh no, he could. There's the sprint as well, but he's far enough behind that Signs is able to keep him at bay. And Leclerc is 50. 45 points ahead of Piastri. There's nothing going on there. He'd be fine.
Not even that, but
So
even from a
they,
constructors, I think it's just worth it because right now they're both starting ahead of the McLarens, and if they get what would be 25 and what's second place 19? How many points second place that lapses? Is it 19 points for second?
18 for second, and then you've
18.
got an extra lap for fast lap.
Okay, so let's say they manage to do all of that, right? That'd be 45 points towards Ferrari.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, they'd be
44.
pretty fastest lap as well. No, that's I was considering all of that plus fastest lap. Is my math just wrong? I don't know. I might be wrong.
Uh, you'd have
18,
25
18,
plus.
yeah, 18 plus one, yeah, yeah. I thought it was 19 plus one. Again, my math was still 19.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
44. So they'd be right up there with McLaren.
They'd overtake McLaren if McLaren weren't to score points.
Yeah, and in our theory, that maybe Norris doesn't finish because of some potential incident with Max. That would just leave
Yeah,
Piastri, who, okay, what could he get? He could maybe get up to like. I don't think he'll overtake the Mercedes. I don't think he'll overtake Russell. Like
I don't
overall
think.
net finish.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm going completely off of nothing, but I think that the Mercedes race pace will be better than McLaren's based on temperatures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see if Hamilton's actually able to make up a few spots. Because looking at this, you've got Max and Lando who'll take each other out. Gasly will drop back. That's an easy 3 places already.
Yeah.
Hulkenberg and a Haas right ahead of him. He'll get him off the
He'll
start.
take him up. Yuki, he should take as well.
Yuki should take. Oscar will be a bit of a battle. So I could see him getting P4, P3, possibly.
Okay. It would be
I
it'd
do,
be a good send off for him in a way to make this
yeah.
these
I do
positions
see,
up.
I do see him finishing around the same place as Russell, though.
So you think Russell's going to drop back enough that Lewis will catch up enough that they'll be more or less in the same area?
Yeah,
Fair. Yeah, that's usually how it tends to happen. I don't know. Even if he annoys me sometimes, I can't deny that Lewis just manages to do something in races that like works. So
his race pace is miles better than his qualifying pace.
yeah,
I I'm I'm I say the same thing about Alex Dunn. His race pace is much better than his qualifying pace. Um, he got unlucky this year with the things that happened in F3, but overall his race pace is much better than quali pace. So he's the same. He's the same. It's the same with Hamilton. That qualifying pace not as strong, but
I don't know if I
over
mean
or race.
obviously in Alex Dunn's case it isn't the case, and I don't know if this is a global thing, but I do think that
Mm-hmm.
qualifying pace tends to drop off with age because I think you just don't take as many risks anymore. Like you do take risks, of course, you're an F1
Mm-hmm.
driver or a racing driver in
Yeah,
general, but
yeah,
you're not like crazy, crazy, crazy anymore because you know, okay, I'd rather like just get in a good spot and know what I have to do tomorrow rather than one of my issues with
yeah,
the clerk in the past sends it every single time, a fraction of the time he's in the
yeah,
barrier. It's like start P2 and
yeah.
then work your way into P1, and that's still okay. It's not like P1 or
Mm-hmm.
barrier. He's gotten better
It's
at that, of
like
course, with time, with
with
maturity, with.
with a lot of drivers, it's a case of that it's easy. It's easier for them to track down drivers. Like once you've a target in front of you, you're able to manage your pace to that.
Like even
It
when we go
makes it
karting, it's the same thing, right? You can like if you have something to
yeah,
track down, it just you feel like okay, you see when he's stopping, you can push just a bit more, kind of, and like
yeah,
test the waters and see what's working, what's not working. When you don't have any visual in front of you, you're using okay markers that you know they're on the side of the track, but it's not as
yeah,
effective as seeing an actual car take that turn and how it's working, how you can.
yeah,
So
yeah. I completely agree that there's a level of it that it's there's a certain aspect of it that like if you're chasing someone down, you're instantly going to go quicker because one, they're breaking the air for you, and two, they are they're they are the marker for what you're meant to be doing. So you see their mistake, you capitalize on it. You see what they're doing good, you copy it. It's really get closer and closer every time.
Right, right. Yeah. So, final things to wrap up today. Do we think Verstappen will be crowned champion tomorrow? I know we both said that he might have an incident, but if he doesn't have that incident, do you think he manages to finish ahead of Norris?
Yes,
Yes.
I do think he finishes ahead of Norris if they don't have the accident.
And
Uh,
your preliminary top
la,
three? Go ahead if you want to
my
go for it.
no last race really showed for me that I think Max just clears the water of Norris, and that he'll he'll easily finish ahead of him if they don't crash. My top three for tomorrow. Just because you're going to go Charles, I'm going to go Carlos, Charles,
Okay.
and then Oscar or Lewis.
Oscar or Lewis?
Yeah, I think George
Hmm.
will drop back to P4, P5.
And you think Oscar's going to overtake Norris as well?
Yeah,
Or through
uh,
an incident, right?
if I think there might probably be an incident, but this is me going off them having an accident. So
Okay, okay.
but
So
we'll see
then,
what happens tomorrow. I'm just being hopeful.
yeah, I'll go Charles, Carlos. Um, I'll go with Russell. I'll say Russell manages to hold them off. So we have a little bit of a difference in our predictions as well.
Cool, sounds
Perfect.
good.
Great. So I guess that's it for us for now. We'll be back tomorrow after the race,
Yep,
tomorrow morning. Hopefully
sounds good.
we'll won't be too tired. I don't know what time the race is at 8 my time, 6 your time,
Yep,
I think. So it'll be quite early, but we'll do our best to be on it.
we'll do the yeah we'll do the this right basically right after.
Yes, as soon as we can after the race. Awesome.
Yep,
Thank you guys for
sounds
watching,
good.
and
Talk
we'll
to
see
you
you
again.
guys next.